Masters World Championship. My name is Joe Miller. Joining me for our final 2 games of the day is, of course, Doa and Deficio. So, coming into this one, a big game, TSM versus CJ Entus. Deficio, first of all, what do you make to these comps?
I really like the Leona pick coming in here for Mad Life. I think CJ were expecting the Victor to come in, and obviously Hard CC shut him down really effectively. And also Nidalee, a champion who can't really sit there and poke if you get suddenly engaged on by Leona. So I like that pickup. However, it does mean there's not enough peel for your Corgi Zeref in that backline, and Prey and Coco really got a position well. Otherwise, they're going to get overrun by TSM.
Oh yeah, so true, man. I mean, TSM has a potential to get in there and do a lot of damage, but CJ has the ability to sort of lock them down, get the damage that they can do with Coco and Space as well, and I'm just excited about this match, man. CJ Entus versus TSM. What a grudge match for Lustboy as well to play against his former team. Very cool stuff. And of course, Olko Doko, the coach for TSM, against his former team as well. So a lot of history in this matchup that we're about to see. And the winner moves on to tomorrow.
And I really want to see the jungle matchup here, because we have seen Rek'Sai almost be the MVP of this tournament so far here. Yeah. Nearly every single Rek'Sai game has been absolutely fantastic. Even though he might not have won the game, the early game has been in favor of the Rek'Sai itself. And now if you look at the top lane matchup, not that I'm expecting too many ganks up there, Mundo will outscale the Maokai in terms of one-on-oneing him. But in terms of a team fight, well, that's what both of them are going to become, these massive tanks. One is going to shut down, obviously, some of the damage coming in, and Mundo is just going to be this frontline guy who's going to be impossible for a Sivir and a Victor to kill. So it's going to be very exciting to see if we're going to get any ganks from Nidalee or Rek'Sai to really try to snowball one of your 2 tanks.
Well, Shai's Mundo is really something else, too. I mean, he plays a Dr. Mundo that's kind of in a league of its own. I mean, this is a guy that in Korea this season has gotten multiple triple kills early on in the game with this champion. You do not want to fight Shai's Mundo near Dragon, so I think TSM is going to need to be really, really careful once that Mundo starts to leave the top lane.
Yeah, and of course, only just going to get beefier and beefier and more annoying to get by as things go on. First few skill shots coming out here. Coco and Bjergsen landing one apiece, just showing that they mean business in this mid lane. And there is Shai helping out Ambition with the start to the Krugs up top.
And not really a surprise with the lane swap here. Sivir has been one of the counter picks to Corgi in the laning phase. Leona is great into an Annie, but she wants a few levels before she can really start all-laning onto Lost Boys. So no real surprise in terms of the lane swap. And for now, the top laners are running around with their junglers. Nobody's sitting in the lane yet. CJ, they want to stop this blue buff.
Yeah, Mad Life coming down. Here comes Ambition and Shai as well. Can they possibly do it? Blue getting low. Mad Life getting in there with the autos, with those Sunlight procs. Blue buff does get taken by Santorin, but Dyrus on the run as well. CJ looks like they'll have to let them go. Flash is used by both top and junglers for TSM. So even though CJ didn't get the blue buff, that's definitely a win.
Yeah, 2 summoners blown here. We see why teams normally don't start the buff on the side where the enemy dual lane has been sent and where your top lane is on his own, because you know there's going to be 4 guys on that side of the map. You've obviously seen the Sivir already sitting in the bottom lane, but Team Solomid managed to get the blue buff. No flash on your Nidalee, however, kind of slows down your early game pressure.
See, Wild Turtle left though, all alone down bottom. And I say all alone, Lustboy's actually in the brush just to the top side of him there. Seeing if he can catch anyone coming down this bottom side through river. I don't think Mad Life's a person that will necessarily fall for that, although I've said things that have been proved totally incorrect just seconds after already today.
I think right now Team Solomid should go into the blue buff of CJ Entus here, because they saw there was no buffs on Ambition when he came down to stop the blue buff itself. And you have your bottom lane here on this side of the map, so you're going to be quickly 4 guys collapsing onto a jungler if they want to move in. It seems they are just going to play it safe, most likely because they used the flashes here early on. But a double buff Nidalee is going to stop a Rek'Sai any time of the day of getting that blue buff here, and they should deny it from Ambition now.
Yeah, well, there goes Santorin. He's coming in knowing exactly what you were talking about, and here comes Ambition to try to claim his blue buff. So will TSM be able to stop this from happening? You can see Ambition approaching that very carefully. Wild Turtle gets stunned by Mad Life, takes some nice hits, and Shai starting to get a little bit more CS here.
And you can see, because TSM can push up this bottom lane, Lostboy can roam up here, he can join in with Santorin, get a few wards down, and again keep denying this blue buff, setting Ambition behind. He won't be able to get any cams for himself. The Grump is there. This is a risky one. I mean, there's a ward to spot him.
Yep. Santorin picked up that pink ward on his way back, obviously having to recall fairly early on. We see there 3 men from TSM going to start off this blue buff. What will Ambition try and do for this one? I think it's just going to be a case of having to give it up, and it will go over onto Santorin. So what's the reply? Nothing. Just a bit of poke back onto Wild Turtle, and nice little pick up there from Santorin early on.
Yeah, real nice play. And he's not done yet. I mean, you're not going to get this Grump here, Ambition. You're going to keep being level 3. Santorin still staying around, double trap. And meanwhile, I mean, Darius has just gone to the top lane. He's one-on-oneing a Corki. There's no real XP advantage for Space just yet. Oh, sorry, there's a level 5 for him, so there's an XP advantage. But for Darius' case, he's going to try and pick up some farm at least here and catch up.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage from Space, of course, so he will be slowed down just a bit. Perhaps level-wise, perhaps gold-wise as well. But being on that Maokai, too, that does give you a lot of late-game strength. So it's something where even if you're kept back a little bit early, it's not necessarily the end of the world, you know?
No, that's very true, and we have seen Maokai's in lane swap to go Catalyst and just build like Frozen Heart, Spirit Visage from there, and then maybe get a Righteous Glory for himself. So you can build these, not, you know, full tank straight away builds, but still where you don't go for like Rod of Ages, a fairly expensive first item, and get pretty tanky going into the mid game despite being denied quite some farm. But here for Darius, because the lane is pushing down towards him, and of course he's in a one-on-one situation, he should get most of the farm. At least we'll get all the XP.
Yep, certainly seems that way.
Yeah, his farm there is pretty much level if you look at that as well, so not certainly that bad for him. Just needs to be careful how far up that lane he actually comes, especially now that we have seen Mad Life join Space on the top side of the map. And in fact, Ambition is also top side as well, so needs to be just a little bit wary of that one. Got no vision because of the fact that he's been pushed back for so long. Mid lane is also fairly even at this point, 48 to 42 CS, and we see that Space is just keeping Darius as far away from that minion line as possible. But Ambition is coming.
Yeah, I want to see if CJ wants to dive on it. It's going to be fairly risky on a level 5 Maokai, but they have a lot of CC with the Leona pick. But by having Mad Life here on the top side, it means Mundo is on his own in the bottom lane against double range, so TSM can push that lane in fairly easily and get quite some damage on the tower, and also opening up for Lost Boy to roam around, get more D-boards here. So the bottom side of the map clearly belongs to Team Solo Mid, while CG and Entus have taken over the top side. Still, this bottom lane tower will take quite some damage with Shy being on his own.
Wow, Lost Boy and Santorin lurking in the jungle trying to maybe catch Ambition. But he's going to see him, of course, with that Tremor Sense. Hard to hide from Rek'Sai, isn't it?
It's a bit tough, at least.
Yeah.
One of the reasons she's so good. I mean, you don't even need wards in your own jungle. But if you are getting camped here, the only way to do it is if you're standing still and basically in a bush, and obviously the Rek'Sai won't be able to see you. But Ambition now...
Teemo hard counter, right?
I think CG Entus realized that they couldn't really do anything in the top lane, where the Maokai is already quite tanky, just from the levels itself, and have to go down here to try and defend this tower. So small advantage in this lane swap in terms of tower damage for Team Solo Mid, but Shy has been picking up quite a lot of farm on Mundo already.
Yeah, up to 40 to the 33 currently of Darius, and there is actually Mad Life diving in on top of Lost Boy. The question is, do they want to follow this one through? Wild Turtle already doing decent amounts of damage, especially if he gets his boomerang across like that, but they're certainly holding him away from that tower fairly decently at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this 3-on-3, there's certainly a lot more damage coming out of TSM overall right now as they continue to push this lane up. Mad Life, it's interesting to see him on that Leona. It's not a champion that we've seen him play a whole lot of lately, but here we go, going in again, jumping onto Santorin. The tower does go down. Santorin goes down as well. First blood going over Ambition, and they're not done yet. Shy getting low, but he's going to pop that ult. He just hit level 6, and so no danger there for CJ. And a flash for Ambition, trying to go in on the Lust Boy. They will. Mad Life picks up that kill. So even though TSM picked up that turret, CJ returns with 2 kills of their own. Bjergsen looking to maybe make a play on a Coco here.
I was about to say I really liked how Team Solo Mid were pushing the bottom lane. That basically forces Mad Life on Leona to sit and try and defend under the tower, not roam around or try and make aggressive plays on his own. And then Engage comes in, 2 kills for CJ. Yes, they lost the tower, but they can be fairly happy with these 2 kills here, as long as TSM is not able to quickly rotate the Wild Turtle into a different lane, where he can then push another tower, because he's sitting on a BF sword, and before Corki hits that Trinity Force, he won't really be able to stop any pushes, and that's where you could use Sivir now to really fast push another lane. Top lane could be the go-to target. Again, Mundo doesn't really bring any wave clear to the table.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about Dyrus's itemization too, and it looks like he did pick up that Catalyst. So playing it safe, just kind of farming up and getting ready for the late game. So wise moves there.
And we see as well that duo you were just mentioning from TSM. Will they change things around now that tower's down? Actually, they won't, and Lustboy is going to phase check there into space, and that is a lot of damage coming out with that Sheen already in position. Mad Life going to come across, but he misses the Zenith Blade onto Wild Turtle, and that should be the end of that one, at least for now. Maybe some tower damage, though, for CJ.
And this is a big thing here for CJ, and it's because Space has been getting free XP and farm in this top lane. He's level 8 at the moment, so level 6, or now 7 of Wild Turtle, level 4 only for Lost Boy, so he's extremely strong just from levels, and that's why he can make up for this BF sword here on Wild Turtle, and simply take a fantastic trade for him. Lost Boy obviously face checking. This should also mean that there won't be any dragons started right away from Team Solar Mid, despite them getting that early tower, and instead fairly standard lanes, just 1 tower down and 2 kills for CJ. That's all we got in this lane swap here, and now a Corki, which is, well, who is very far ahead in terms of XP.
You know, well, we've been seeing too, independent of all this, that Bjergsen's gotten a pretty huge CS lead over Coco in the mid lane. They've been left more or less alone, and that's allowed Bjergsen to use that upgraded E, but now he's getting jumped on by Madlef and Ambition. Ult activated by Coco. Bjergsen manages to flash out, chasing CJ back now with that Chaos Storm. Oh, and the spear does a lot of damage for Xantorin, but Bjergsen getting out of that 1v3. Big escape there for TSM.
Look at the setup though by CJ. They had placed the pink ward in the river after they got back to this bottom lane with the extremely strong Corki, so they knew they had a clear path from the bottom lane to the mid lane to set up this gank here, but nice reaction from Bjergsen.
True enough.
Managed to stay alive. Had to blow his flash and cleanse, however.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's worth it. I mean, you want to kind of keep that ball rolling, keep the lead going in the mid lane. Picked up that Negatron cloak, so it looks like Bjergsen's going to go for that Abyssal Scepter as a first item, which is something that we've seen on Victor a few times.
Yeah, we often see it obviously against so much magic damage when you have a Corki Xerath, even a Mundo from CJ here. It does mean, however, he's going to delay and potentially not even get a Morel Nomicon, which is fantastic against the Mundo, and also the cooldown reduction is so important on Victor. I want to see how he builds, because I've seen Abyssal Scepter into like Deathcap Void Staff, where you simply skip that Morel Nomicon, which you can debate, is it worth it, is it not? I mean, you're going to stay in the backline anyway, you have your cleanse against Leona here, so you should be able to dodge around the damage, and your job is now killing that Mundo with your AD carry, so that's where the Morel Nomicon will be very important later on, so let's see if Bjergsen wants to pick it up or not.
There's that pink ward spotted out and removed. Similar will happen down on the back of the Dragon Pit, and are they going to go for this one? The funny thing is, Xantorin is currently recalling, so won't be anywhere close, and this is basically a free dragon for CJ.
Yeah, TSM not having any trouble, or actually CJ rather having no trouble taking that dragon. And again, you know, I feel like this is an okay one for TSM to give up too, because we've seen in the past what CJ with this Mundo has been able to do. So yeah, I'd say better just kind of let that one go. Let Bjergsen continue to sort of build up that lead in the mid lane.
Yeah, you had no summoners on your Victor in the mid lane, so it would be fairly easy for Mad Life to target him with his ulti and just straight up engage onto Bjergsen and lock him down. And really this pressure on the bottom side of the map from CJ simply comes from taking space with all that free farm and XP, take him down to the bottom lane. He got level 9, so he got the max rank on his Q, and he's just been so strong that he's been giving them that lane control. We've seen ganks in the mid lane now, we've seen Dragon being taken as well. Nice setup and nice early game by CJ after this swap back from this swap.
Yep.
From his lane swap.
Yeah. Swapping the swap.
Loads of swapping going around.
They are now finally moving Turtle to this top lane with Lost Boy as well. Looks like the recall will come in from Dyrus after that little fight with Shy up top, where he did use his ultimate. Lost Boy's actually stood right on top of a ward there, so it's not like they're going to be catching Shy unaware at any stage of that. I mean, it looks like CJ might try and push this bottom lane out, get rid of that turret final.
I really like this play by Wild Turtle and why we highlighted it earlier, that you can move this Sivir around once you get an early tower down in a lane swap, because again, Mundo is not going to do anything to defend it. And now mid lane is going to be your next target. Xerath sadly is offering so much wave clear. You got to find a way to push him off the tower first if you want to quickly go in and push it down. But Bjergsen, I mean, he's happy farming still. And as long as he pushes the wave into the tower, he will get a little bit of damage every single time. And then it's just a quick rotation and you take it down.
Yep, he's been eventually doing it. And that's kind of what you do on this Victor, is just use that empowered E. Just push down that mid lane over and over again while you try to not die. Oh, the stun barely avoided by the end of that recall. Mad Life going in on the Santorin, and the ult activated by Coco as well. Wow. Easy kill there for CJ. And that's that power of the Leona coming in and just being able to make the ult so easy for Coco. Lustboy, meanwhile, going on a magical journey, even though Bard is not available in this tournament. Not exactly the same type of magical journey. He's going to go down. Ambition backing up right now, trying to get out of this Wild Turtle Bjergsen gang. Coco defending with the damage, and here comes the teleport now for Dyrus. Gets there. Can he get onto Coco? Well, they force the flash. Here comes Mad Life, though.
He wants more. Flash is ready as well for him.
Wow. Yeah, onto Dyrus. Okay. Look at the damage coming back there. Wild Turtle will destroy him. And that did not go to plan for CJ Entus. They saw the TP coming down and thought that they could fight it, but maybe underestimating TSM's damage there.
Welcome to League of Critical Hits.
Welcome to Victor as well.
Yeah,
it's an insane amount of burst damage, but that whole setup was a little bit weird because Bjergsen was recalling and they saw him recalling in the bush, and then Santorin and Lost Boy was suddenly caught in the jungle of CJ, obviously all alone. There was some easy kills for them in the start, and a bit of a mistiming from Team Solo Mid. When your mid laner recalls, you do not go into the enemy jungle and play some wards, way too risky.
Even I had to admit that was a bit too bloodthirsty. I don't do that much, but in that case,
yeah. Much.
Yeah, when you're the support and, you know, before the, right after the tier 1 goes down, you're taking damage from the inhibitor turret. To me, we may be a little bit too far in.
Yeah, a bit deep there from Lost Boy, but I don't think he really had many options as to where he was going to run at that point. They are challenging once again on the blue buff spawn here. Well, let's see how this one goes. There is a smite available for Ambition, but it's probably not going to the mid laners, but actually will be picked up there at the end by Ambition. Mad Life here is surely going to go down. He will. Wild Turtle, I guess that one. Can they lock any more up? Lost Boy actually did throw out Tibbers there, but not sure if he wasn't charged up there. His stun, I believe it wasn't, because he dropped it right on top of him.
Well, I mean, Mad Life tried to come in for a flank, tried to make something happen, but CJ was just a little bit too separated for him to capitalize on that.
And again, as soon as he engages, you see how Team Solo Mid, they back away slightly here, they single him out first, and then simply say to CJ, if you want more damage here, your Corki, your Xerath, they gotta move a bit closer in here, and then potentially we can turn around on you. So Mad Life twice now, being the guy to engage, and he's gone down. Nice little flash Q from Lost Boy to get the last amount of damage. Perfect timing for him.
This game so far, close to say the least. TSM with a 700 gold lead, mainly due to the amount of farm that they've got in that mid lane. Of course, they did lose the first dragon there to CJ, so we'll see if they decide to fight when the next one comes up here in 1 minute and 20 seconds. And they may well do now that a couple of items are coming down. If I quickly look at gold, there's 2,300 gold for Wild Turtle to spend, so that'll probably be a decent time for him to go home, although Space also had just finished off that Trinity Force.
Yeah, but should be in vintage for Wild Turtle, potentially the average blade as well if he's going for Static Shift second. He did go Phantom Dancer earlier. I've seen that quite a few times from him. Often depends on just how much gold you have on your first pack. If you can get your seal, you go for that one, then you open up for Phantom Dancer. We can see here, it's picked up by him. I mean, next time he backs, if he has enough for it, he will get the Phantom. Otherwise, you just go Static Shift. And honestly, it's all about getting that instant power on these AD carries here. You want to get your second item to boost up your vintage.
Right, there we go. CJ finally taking that bottom turret. That's their first of the game. So striking back with an objective of their own right before Dragon comes up. About 30 seconds remaining for that. And by putting this pressure on the bot lane, they should be able to maybe get in there, get a little bit of vision around Dragon and try to get their second one. Because with the pressure that TSM has put on early, being able to counter by getting those Dragons is really nice for CJ.
Yeah, because we see two teams running so much hard engage in terms of their supports and big frontline tanks as well, it's very important you pre-plan your objectives and you move into a dragon before it spawns, and then you set up your wards, have 1 or 2 ping wards put up first, because if you don't have any vision control around the dragon itself, you cannot face check against Annie or Leona. Both will be able to single you out, get a perfect engage for whatever team has set up the control, and therefore you have to forfeit that objective. For now, Team Solmid is moved in here because Shy was still pushing that top lane. Dyrus is down here trying to fight for vision, and honestly, CJ, seems like they're happy just trading a top tower for Dragon.
Yeah, leaves them at 1 apiece on the Dragons. And of course, 2 for 2 in turrets as well. And with that, CJ now regaining that gold lead. And it looks like they may try and put some damage onto this mid turret. Shy seemingly will come across again. And Corki, to be honest, ripping through this turret there with that Trinity Force in. Ambition did just come around to join them as well. But it looks like they will be forced away, at least for now.
And this really is just this Corki power we've talk about so often, how good these Korean teams are using the power spikes from getting a over-farmed or over-leveled Corki. That was the first step of getting a lot of pressure on one side of the map for CJ. They used it to gank the mid lane, used it to get at least some farm and some damage on the bot lane tower. And then the next one is, of course, when you get your Trinity Force. That's the next step. That's where you're looking to keep pushing in and get the global gold. They've been using it. 2 towers now for them. Shy obviously picked up the last one. And still, will be stronger. Mad Life.
Wow, and there's a Chaos Storm.
3 times now.
Yep, Mad Life not having the best game here, trying to make engages that don't work, just getting caught out multiple times. And, Mad Life he's been better lately, but overall in Season 5, he's been very hit and miss, and they may lose a mid-turret for this.
Yeah, it was in actually a really tricky position there, because he was like, do I wait for the gravity field, or do I try and go through it? I think he actually thought he timed it right and went in just as he got stunned, so a little bit unlucky there as well, but nice bit of punishment, to be fair, from TSM. And there is Space just finding
a little bit
one
far
man,
up.
but he's got Dyrus chasing him in as well. Will Valkyrie, but there are 3 men chasing him down, and I don't see Space escaping that one. It is Wild Turtle that picks him up. He has got all 4 kills on TSM side of things. The question is that a problem for them? Can Wild Turtle carry them through this?
I mean, it's tough to say. We've seen Wild Turtle in the past have some great games, but we've also seen him basically being caught out in the start of team fights and simply just blown up, and then suddenly the 4 kills would do nothing for Team Solar Mid. So I think it's tough. Last game, Dora, you praised him a little bit, said his position was better compared to what we've seen before. If he can pull that off again, if he can dodge around the Zeref stun, the engage from Mad Life, then yes, it can be fantastic for Team Solar Mid, because it's going to be all about killing the 2 frontline tanks here.
Yeah.
Mundo for CJ, obviously the Maokai for Team Solar Mid. So if you have a Fed 80 carry early on, that makes you that much stronger for the first few fights.
Well, I think, Corki is a lot easier to do that with than Sivir as well, too. So this is kind of the real test. And so far, 4 kills, 0 deaths, not looking too bad. TSM able to get that lead in turrets as well. A very close game so far between these 2 teams.
Yeah, interesting there that TSM once again were on time for that blue buff and once again actually stole it away there from CJ. So we'll see how that really affects Coco mainly. We'll see what he can come up with despite not having that blue buff available to him. That middle turret, let's not forget, is decently low on TSM's side of the map, but for now it doesn't look like there's too much pressure to get it down.
Just to go back to your blue buff point here, I think it's super smart what Team Solar Mid is doing, because Zeref Corki has a fantastic mid-game group where you have so much poke damage and siege potential, and by denying that blue buff, you basically make it hard for Kogo to stay and keep landing damage in these sieges here, and therefore CJ are gonna split up instead and go back to just basically trying to apply pressure in every single lane. We just saw before here, after Mad Life died, Space, he stayed in the bottom lane and pushed, and that's why Team Solar Mid could just walk down from the mid lane and kill him. So both teams here have had times where one guy's recalling or dying, and the other ones don't really respect how many guys you can send down and kill them and punish them and just stay pushing. But we got this mid-game siege here. This tower is very, very low.
It is indeed. Dyrus trying to defend with the ult, and they managed to clear the wave. Coco needing to be very careful there. They can jump on him so easily.
Yeah, and he's got no real mana to work with in this scenario, which is very going back onto that blue buff point, which Bjergsen, of course, will be happy to have, and he just couldn't quite get close enough to that. And without Coco doing a bit of spamming onto the backside to clear them out, it might be dangerous. Dyrus is going to come behind him, still not finished off the tower. There is Dyrus moving in, and Tibbers goes down.
Yeah, Solar Flare used by Mad Life, but didn't accomplish a whole lot. Mad Life trying to get in for a stun, but again, he's on his own. Ambition already on the run, Shy as well. Coco just trying to flee for his life. Dyrus flashes ahead to get that twisted advance. Another kill onto Mad Life. And look at this, Coco flashing out of the Baron pit. Baron is activated. Is TSM actually just going to go for this? Coco with not a lot of mana to poke, and I think TSM better to pull away from that one and stay safe. I mean, with Space and Mad Life out of the way, the temptation is there, but better safe than sorry, especially with Dragon up in a minute.
Yeah, really love the setup here, though, by Team Solar Mid. We had the push, the mid-game siege from CJ, Teleport behind from Dyrus. We keep talking about Zeref, how he's out of mana, he's barely going to offer anything. And also Space, he got caught out here, stuns onto him, nice CC and nice target selection from Team Solar Mid, giving him a very nice goal lead of 1,000.
Well, you were trying to work that out there.
I was trying to look and say, okay, 1,000 here, and then we got the comms and how's it looking.
Well, Math is difficult, man.
When you're against a Corki, if you're ahead in the mid game, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, very true. I mean, we saw Space kind of hit that power spike, and they were able to get some turrets, but not a ton. And TSM just, it's really impressive how they're kind of being able to answer back everything. But to me, you know, one of the big stories this game so far is that Madlife just seems to be really, really off his game here on this Leona. We've said it before, it's a bit of a different pick than we've seen him on in recent history, and it's not working out very well. Ambition, a little bit bogged down by TSM here in the river, manages to tunnel his way out. There's a teleport coming in for Shy. They really don't want TSM to get this dragon.
Very defensive teleport though behind from him just to join the fight.
Yeah.
Nobody really going too out on the dragon yet. Nobody started and they're both kind of standing. I mean, Team Solomid have the mid lane now. They can push up the wave. You see Bjergsen do it already. Try and force CJ to move away from this dragon back up to defend. And we see they're just going to take the trade. You get the dragon, we take that mid tower instead.
Yep.
Well, Dyrus is still hanging around. There's a sapling jumping in, but it's going to be a little bit too slow for them. There's the inner turret going down. What will TSM do? They've got a beastie Mundo coming around the side, but Shy is pretty much the rest of his team on the other side of it. Now they are going to go for Shy. Can they finish him off here and get through the rest of the team? Madlife also going to be caught up. He will surely fall as Santorin jumps in. Ambition, the next target, he goes down as well. Surely, there we go. Finished off by Wild Turtle. Space will manage to escape off the side, but in the end it's a 3-for-1. TSM losing the support, taking that inner turret in trade for the dragon.
Yeah, again, it's just a great setup here. They're making all the right decisions. Just see how they say, okay, we don't want to fight here around this dragon where you can sit and poke us with the Corki, with the Xerath. No, we just pushed the mid lane. We had the advantage. We were staying near it. And then suddenly you just engage when Coco wasn't near. Yep. And at the same time, no poke has been landed from CJ with their comp before the fight starts. And of course, TSM can then just jump onto them. Nice setup again. And Baron?
Very good decisive fight. It does lead into this Baron. Coco can poke a little bit, but again, low on mana. Yet again, Baron getting low, and they do get it fairly easily. So TSM with the turret, with the team fight, with the Baron, suddenly jumping out to a 4,000 gold lead and really kind of taking a big edge now in this game.
Just a great strategy, great shot calling. Yeah. Every time. Let's see it again. So again, no poke has been landed by CJ here. You see Coco, he's just here with his ulti. That's it. The rest is just a 5 versus 4. Team Solomid chasing up, get 1 kill, get 2 kills. And again, you're healthy enough. You got the ulti from Bjergsen down. Such a good setup of saying we're not going to allow you to poke us, and we're not going to sit around an objective where we know, okay, who's going to start it? Okay, you got now 5-10 seconds to land, let's say, the rockets and the Q from a Xerath. No, it's not going to happen. We just take a mid tower and we hard engage on you. Yeah,
it was a really good Tivers by Lusboy in that fight as well. And again, you know, we saw Madlife Solar Flare. Oops. Oh, Bjergsen. But we also saw Madlife Solar Flare just being a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, he locked the 3 up at the back there, but obviously they were doing damage on the front side anyway. Couldn't save Shy, couldn't save the rest of them. One thing to note, Coco did finally get a blue buff here in this game, so that should be helping them with the TSM pushes and clearing out those waves a little bit quicker. But let's not forget, inner turret on the top lane, inner turret in the bottom lane is all that remains outside of that CJ Entus base, and it looks like the bottom lane might be the target for TSM.
Very key items just been completed for them. We have, of course, the Void Staff for Bjergsen. Almost a Last Whisper completed for Wild Turtle as well. And suddenly, I mean, this Corgi is not looking that scary. You have gotten past the point of the mid-game spike and onto Shy again.
Yeah, Dyrus goes in after Shy gets very, very low. They get the turret, they get the kill on Maokai as well. And TSM not quite done yet, it looks like, or gets the kill onto Mundo, rather. And now, with that Baron buff, this inhibitor turret's in a little bit of trouble. A lot of damage put onto that.
And they're surely just going to keep pushing on this one. I mean, they'll wait for that next wave maybe, but with another 20 seconds on Shy, they've got time to finish off at least the inhibitor turret, maybe the inhibitor themselves. Xerath, of course, will play a role in trying to keep them away from it, but it's not going to be enough. And there it is, going down, and they're going to go for the fight. Space will be caught completely out of position. Ambition will get stunned up as well. That's 2 kills for TSM, and if they play this right, maybe they can finish.
I think they might be able to.
They got the tip as well, just died there. This tower's going to go down.
Look at that. First Nexus turret out of the way. Shy down, only Coco up. Space still 20 seconds away. Madlife goes in deep, gets blown up immediately. Wild Turtle tanking that Nexus turret. They're going to take out Coco as well. And guys, at 29 minutes, can you believe it? Team Solomid takes down CJ Entus. They're moving on. GG. Wow.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here. A lot of people were, of course, tipping for those semi-final matchups to be Korea versus second place on both sides of the bracket. That's not going to happen here.
Guess not, yeah. I mean, you saw Lustboy hugging Bjergsen after. That's got to feel good to beat that former team. And, man, you just can't say enough good things about that game for TSM. I mean, yeah, Mad Life had a rough game or whatever, too, but TSM just played every part of that so well.
I agree 100%. I love the strategy. Deny the blue buff from Xerath in the mid game so you don't get that siege with the Corki Xerath from CJ. And then, of course, because Wild Turtle got so many early kills, he got straight to Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, and then you can really start taking the fights from the side of Team Solar Maiden. Just great engages, great shot calling, decision making. Everything was just working for them in this game, and that's why they win.
Well, first place out of the group for TSM, taking down CJ Entus, who of course still have a chance tomorrow where they'll face the winner of World Elite and Gambit. That game will be coming up next, but for now we're going to move over to the analyst desk to break down that TSM victory.